This segment is an overview of how to communicate with amiable personalities. As a reminder, amiable personalities are a combination of being both detail-oriented and people-driven. Before we jump in and talk about how to communicate with them, let's first do a review of what life is like from the amiable perspective. Amiable personalities are warm-hearted and cooperative individuals who are always happy to lend a hand. They tend to be very supportive of others, and they thrive on teamwork and in harmonious environments. Also, out of all the personalities, amiable people tend to have the biggest satellite to pick up on emotional data. And you're going to want to remember this because this is really key in how to communicate effectively with amiable personalities. Now that we've regrounded in the amiable perspective, let's talk about what to do when communicating with amiable personalities. So first of all, bring your most warm and supportive self. Amiable people are incredibly relational individuals who need to feel connected to you to work together most effectively. Secondly, be considerate. Amiable people go out of their way to be considerate of the needs of others, and they expect the same courtesy in return. They do not appreciate when people take advantage of their kindness or generally show a lack of awareness for what they want and need in a given situation. And finally, ask them questions. So while the amiable instinct is often to inquire of others rather than to share from themselves, they will appreciate your interest and you will likely be in awe of what they have observed in their environment. Okay, so now that we talked about what to do when communicating with amiable personalities, let's talk about what not to do. So first of all, do not ever, under any circumstances, yell at an amiable. It does not work. So that big satellite for emotional data that we talked about earlier will make that kind of communication feel very intense for them. The satellite will likely retract, and it could be a very relationally expensive mistake for you. Secondly, do not be rude. Do not be inconsiderate. And finally, do not pressure them. So they will likely never tell you to your face how much they dislike this, but if they see you in the grocery store parking lot, they'll get back in their car and drive 15 minutes across town just to avoid interacting with you. So here's the thing about amiable individuals. It can be very hard to tell when they're being triggered. Because of the subtlety of their expressiveness, sometimes it's hard to know what's going on underneath the surface. So for example, this is a picture of an amiable person losing their mind at something you just said. But don't be fooled. Amiables do have their limit, and hell hath no fury like an amiable person that's been pushed once too far. So here's some practical tips to take with you into your next interaction with an amiable personality. First of all, smile and let them know this is an environment where they can open up. Secondly, inquire personally with them so that they can have a warm connection before jumping abruptly into business. Also offer support so that they know you're someone they can trust and who's worthy of their loyalty. And finally, make them feel appreciated. If you do this, they will go out of their way to make you a success. So in sum, to communicate more effectively with an amiable personality, be warm and supportive, use gentle and subtle communication, they will get your message, and help them feel appreciated, as they so often do for others. For more information on amiable personalities, check out our Sure Academy webpage.